Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Rachel, and I get to lead the group 9B ladies, the ninth grade ladies. Woo! Love it. Thank you. A leader for them. I live here in Grimes with my husband, Jake, and our little, he's back there, and our little baby boy, Ricky Roy. There he is. Let's see. My favorite food is cookie dough. I actually think for our next family gathering, I'm just going to bring cookie dough straight up on a platter, and I actually think everyone would really appreciate it. I love to run. I love training for marathons, but I didn't like it in high school. But I really love it now. And today we're going to talk about how you were chosen. All these fun, unique things about me are part of my path. And every single person in here has their own unique path and abilities and favorite foods. Maybe cookie dough, right, isn't your thing? Right, who doesn't love cookie dough? I agree. Right, you were chosen. And tonight we're going to speak about stop shrinking and let ourselves start shining. Because no one can do it like you. And God's equipped you with absolutely everything that you need. But some more of those little fun facts. I grew up on a dairy farm with 6 siblings. So there were 7 kids. I know, it was wild, but it was fun. And this is a picture of myself and 2 of my brothers. So I have 2 older brothers, 2 older sisters, 2 younger brothers. And we all start with R's and K's. So this is a picture of Royce and Riley and Rachel. And we grew up on a dairy farm, so we had dairy cows, and we also had pigs. So that was fun. And whenever I would go outside to do chores or to play, I would wear whatever I wanted. I would wear my tights. I wear my fanciest little sweater. I wear my fake jewelry. I just kind of marched to the beat of my own drum. Does anyone think of themselves when they were younger? They went outside, they just explored, adventured, just kind of did their thing, right? And so there's a version of us, if we think back to maybe when you were 6, or you were 11, or gosh, what's the youngest age in here right now? 14? Think back to when you were 13, right? There's a version of you, especially when you're really young, you're confident in who you are. You're so unapologetically yourself, right? That younger version of you, you're not afraid to speak up and voice what you need. Like when you go and you get ice cream when you're younger, you walk right up to that counter and you say, I want Superman, right? You don't ask, hey, what are you gonna get? You just know what you want. You ask questions, not being scared to be wrong. And you didn't feel this need to shrink. But as we get older, something happens. It's like when we were younger, we had this drum and we just marched to the beat of it, loud and proud. And as we get older, we start to shrink more and more. Yeah, Rick. Because what started to happen was, right, we want to be seen, but we're terrified to be seen. We have that fear of being too much. Also, we start to get that fear of, gosh, what if I'm not enough? That comparison of how come they can do it like that? How come I can't? The pressure to fit in, and the judgment. And then we start to think, well, what if something's wrong with me? And we never felt that way, but as we got older and older and older, that feeling started to become more and more and more. So let's dive in a little bit deeper and talk about breakfast, okay? Plot twist. Breakfast is my favorite meal of the day. So this is right after we came home from the hospital. My husband made pancakes. I'm convinced he makes the best pancakes in the world. And it's my son, and he always wears pancake jammies. It's the rule. And then this is a year later on his first birthday. He still has pancake jammies, just a different size. But I absolutely love pancakes. It's my favorite type of breakfast. And it's something that makes me me, something that lights me up. So right now, you're going to stand on up, if able, find a partner, and share what's your favorite type of breakfast. Favorite type of breakfast. We got 1 minute to do so. Up and at 'em. Woohoo! Thank you. Thank you. All right, we got like 20 seconds. Keep on chattering. Oh, I love that. You what? Yes? Celebrate breakfast. Okay, let's find our seats. Whoop, whoop. All right. Did anyone have the same breakfast as their partner? Is anyone else? Anyone have the same breakfast? Love, what was it?
Pancakes with chocolate chips and then Waffle House waffles.
It sounds delicious. Love. Yum. Did anyone share their favorite breakfast restaurant? I'm always looking for good ones to try. Yes. Love homegrown West Des Moines. Love it. Thanks for the plug. Anyone else? Favorite restaurant? Favorite breakfast restaurant? Breakfast Club. So good. Yes. IHOP. Like classic and true. Yes. The Breakfast Club. Yes. Another vote. And the Village Inn. Classic. Especially Tuesdays? Free pie. Yes. Love. All right. So we all have our own favorite unique breakfasts. These things that we love. And picture this. If you told someone what your favorite breakfast was, and they said, wrong, that is not your favorite breakfast. No. These are all gifts, by the way, so they're just a little frozen. If they said, that is so wrong, that is not your favorite breakfast, you'd be like, what are you talking about? Yes, it is. Okay, but here's the catch. And then if someone tells you something is wrong with your personality or your gifts or your talents, we go, maybe you're right. We defend pancakes when they say, maybe something is wrong with me. And we start to doubt ourselves. And if you ever think, Rachel, I don't actually do that. I've never doubted myself. Never shrunk. I've never thought these gifts that God gave me are special. I'll share a personal story so you know you're not alone. So for a few years, I had this goal to start a business. I worked in the HR growth and development area, and I saw this gap in the market, and I was like, gosh, I feel like you could do growth and development, and it can be fun and exciting. I just really saw this need, and I had this mission. I believed in it so much. And so I signed up to take this training, this class, so that I could become a facilitator, so I could start that business. And this class was with 7 other people from around the Midwest. And it was one of the hardest things I have ever done. Hundreds of hours. And it became the last week before we got certified. And it was myself, the 7 other people who were, training, and a room of about 20 people. Not only that, but in the back of the room was the ultimate teacher, the teacher. And I'm up there, I'm doing my thing, it feels good, it feels like it's going well. And he's back there like this. Yeah, what do we think? Is Rachel passing or is Rachel failing? And I'm like, all right, I think it's going good. It feels right? That gut intuition. And he stops me mid-sentence and he goes, Rachel, you're too much. Yeah, you, yes. Right? You're too much. You have too much energy. You are never going to be taken seriously. Right? I got Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson. Just kidding. What do you think I did in that moment? Yeah, I cried hard. That night, I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. I can't believe I thought I could start that business. I can't believe I thought I could do that. And then the next week, the next month, the next few months, right, just laying in bed, I was trying to fall asleep. I'd be like, man, I'm too much. So maybe you felt something similar. Maybe there was an experience, situation you went through, or someone that said something and they were like, hey, you're too much. You're not enough. And here's the deal. We're not above feedback because right feedback is good. And there's some differences. One, sometimes God uses correction to help shape us for the path that he has. And there's a difference between someone helping you grow and someone questioning who you are. And so there's this really good book. I don't know if you guys have read this one. It's a good one. You can get it on Amazon. It's called The Bible. Very quotable. And from 2 Timothy, 3:16-17, all scripture is inspired by God and is useful to teach us what is true and to make us realize what is wrong in our lives. It corrects us when we're wrong and teaches us to do what is right. God uses it to prepare and equip his people to do every good work. So I'm going to be so honest with you. I'm not that good at constantly getting into the Bible. And it's something that I'm actively working on more and more to grow in. And what really, really stands out to me on this verse is it's the one place, in life that we can lean on as our guide of what is right and what is wrong. How many times in our lives are we like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know the answer. And my mom doesn't know. My dad doesn't know. Right? The Bible teaches us what's true and makes us realize what is wrong in our lives and teaches us to do what is right. Right? It's the answer. And so a few years ago, I actually joined my first Bible study here at Hope. And we did this book called When You Pray. And it was my first time doing a Bible study. And I loved getting into it, reading the different verses and learning. And I learned about this one. Wait, that's coming in a bit. But one of the things I took was, picture this, everyone in this room has their own tool belt. Okay, their own tool belt. And God is giving everyone their own unique tool belt. Different gifts, different talents, different quirks, different life experiences, good and bad, interest, mind. Not a single person in this world has the exact same tool belt, the exact same things that are given to them. And he gives you these tools for a reason, to be used and to not be hidden. And I started to learn more about this. I started to pray more about it because I still believed in that business idea I had, even though I was told, you're too much, you're not going to be taken seriously. You'd probably be wasting your time. And I remember it was a Tuesday morning, and so I took this Tuesday night, but it was a Tuesday morning, and I wrote in my prayer journal, I said, God, please, it said, what in your life are you asking God for? And I said, God, just give me alignment in my job and starting my own business. Please speak to me. I was like, please, I really believe in it. Just please speak to me. And then that afternoon, I found out, it was right before Q4. Okay, what that means is companies downsize. I found out that my department was being removed from the company. Therefore, I was being laid off. And right, that feels like a gut to the punch or a punch to the gut because I loved my job. But when I told my husband, I said, oh my gosh. And he said, now you go. Now you go. He's like, you weren't going to start unless you were pushed. And I'm so thankful that he just supported me so much through that. He was like, now you go, you go. And it felt like I was like, I literally just asked for a sign this morning. And it felt like God just gave me this little like crystal glass ball right here. And I was like, I just don't want to break it. I'm so scared I'm going to break it. So praying is not a vending machine. So I think it's important to share that. But God's going to shape us and put us in situations where our gifts are needed. And so I had this energy, I had this passion, and I really felt like in that moment he was going to put me in that new area that he needed me. Because, right, think of it like a hammer. It does not belong in a silent library, but it fits in darn well on a construction site. And so this is from Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So you have these gifts, you have these unique tool belts, and we need to let them shine. We need to let them shine. We do. We can't keep shrinking ourselves down. We need to let them shine. So I finally started this business. I said, you know what? Okay, here we go. I had no idea what I was doing. But fortunately, especially like spaces like this, you're meeting so many people and connections is a thing that really helped me get started. And I knew someone who knew someone who knew someone, and they were like, you got to meet Terry. So I was like, sounds good. So I met up with this woman named Terry, and she's my mentor today. And our first phone call, I told her, I was like, hey, like the thing I'm scared about is I have too much energy, and I'm not going to be taken seriously. And she said, Rachel, no matter what you do, if your mission is to bless and not impress, you're going to be just fine. She said, every single thing you do, using your tools, your gifts, bless, not impress. Focus on blessing, not impressing, right? Because blessing is serving, loving, encouraging, inviting. So, right, when we're using our gifts, when we're using our talents, impressing is like status and attention. But everyone here has that ability to bless, 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 right? To lead others to God. And if my energy points people to me, that's ego. But if it points people to God, that's obedience. That's stepping towards him. That's guiding others to find him. And we all have those different talents and tools to use. We really, really do. And Ephesians 2:10 says, for we are God's masterpiece. He's created us anew in Christ, so we can do the good things he planned for us long ago. We use those tools because he chose us. He chose you for a purpose, to use the gifts he gave you to point others to him. Really did. He did. All right, we're going to stand on up, and you're going to tell 3 people, he chose you, he chose you, he chose you, right? Hit it. He chose you, he chose you, he chose you. Nice job, guys. Yes. This one? Oh. Perfect, yes. Okay. All right. Right, he chose you, he chose you, he chose you to use your talents and gifts to bring others to him. So I started it, but where do I start? I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Right, Matthew 6, 26 through 34. Encourage you to read this. The part that really stands out to me is, right, seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. And when I read that, I think, oh, so I'm supposed to surrender and just, right, and trust. Right, when we use our gifts, when we use our tools, when we take one faithful, obedient step at a time with the sole purpose, right, we want to bless, not impress. We want to light others up and lead them to God. Good things happen. God is shaping us. He is. And now I own my own business, and I'm hired to lift up others. And the reason they hire me is because of my energy, which that guy said, And so I get to use that to bless others. And I absolutely love what I get to do. And I want you all to use your gifts too, because there's no greater feeling in the world, right, than knowing that you're just helping lift up others, especially to point them to God. And you have what you need for the mission designed just for you. You have what you need. And one of those last things, especially I feel like, honestly, at any age, high school, middle school, anything, we can think of, well, what about like the people in my lives, of the comparison? Are they going to judge me? I saw this quote, and it really stuck with me, and it said, a relationship is really good when they multiply your happiness and divide your grief. So the people in our lives, the people we keep close, when you're happy, when you go through something great, do they help multiply that happiness? And when you go through something hard, because, right, there's moments, life can be hard sometimes, do they divide your grief because you feel like you're not walking it alone? The right people don't make you smaller to fit in. They make you stronger to step into who God made you to be, to use your gifts, to use your tools, to point others to Him, right? And then we can kick that comparison to the curb. We can kick that shrinking to the curb. And when you know you're chosen, you stop chasing approval, you start living for mission, right? When you use your gifts, you use your talents, you point others to God. You do, and the world needs you. They do. Because that mission is to bring Christ to all, and we can do so when we live by purpose, by being the version of us that He designed. We're not trying to be like them, we're not trying to be like them, we're trying to be like you. God made you perfect in His image. He really did. All right, so does that sound good? Right? Okay, so I'm going to have everyone put their hands up just like this. Okay, we're going to go up and down. Yeah, so this is called a party pump. So when I show up party pumps, are we ready to start living like the version of us that God designed? Yes? To point others to God? Yes? All right, rock on. So you are chosen to start leading others to Him. Thank you so much. And have a wonderful group meetup.